The reason you can't wake up early was decided before you went to bed. The alarm goes off, you tell yourself you need more discipline, you set it earlier, you promise tomorrow will be different. But here's what no one tells you. The battle was already lost before you even closed your eyes, because the morning you wake up to was decided by choices you didn't even notice you were making. Most people think waking up early is about willpower, that if they just pushed harder, they'd spring out of bed at 5 in the morning. But that's not how bodies work. Your body has a timer. It controls when you feel awake and when you feel tired, and that timer isn't locked. It can be reset. But the reset button isn't your alarm, it's not your motivation. The reset happens in the hours before you sleep. Let's say you want to wake up at 6. Right now, you probably go to bed around midnight. You lie there scrolling, your brain is still lit up, and that light is telling your body one clear message: it's not time to sleep yet. So your internal timer shifts, pushes your wake time later, and when 6 comes, your body is still deep in a sleep cycle. Fighting that isn't discipline, it's just pain. Here's the part that sounds too simple. If you go to bed earlier, you wake up earlier. Not because you're trying harder, because your body is ready. The sleep cycle completes, and when the alarm goes off, you're not ripping yourself out of deep sleep. You're just opening your eyes at the end of a natural process. But going to bed earlier isn't about discipline either. It's about removing what keeps you awake. Your body needs a signal that the day is ending. Dim the lights an hour before bed, not because it's relaxing, because darkness tells your body to produce melatonin. That's the chemical that makes you sleepy. Without it, you can lie in bed for hours and never feel tired. No willpower in the world creates melatonin. Only darkness does that. Room temperature matters too. Your body has to cool down to fall asleep. If your room is too warm, your timer gets confused. It thinks it's still daytime. But if the room is cool, your body drops into deep sleep faster. And deep sleep is where the timer resets. Now here's where most advice falls apart. People tell you to build a morning routine, to have something exciting waiting, but none of that matters if your body isn't ready to be awake. A morning routine doesn't create wakefulness, it just distracts you from exhaustion, and eventually that exhaustion wins. The truth is simpler and harder to accept. You don't need a better morning, you need a better night. And a better night just means stopping the things actively keeping you awake. The bright lights, the late meals, the mental stimulation right before bed. All of that is pushing your timer forward, making your natural wake time later and later. But let's say you do this. You dim the lights, you cool the room, you go to bed earlier, and the first night it doesn't work. You lie there awake, so you get frustrated. You think it's not working, and you go back to scrolling, back to staying up late. This is where most people quit, because they expect instant results. But your body doesn't work on a one-night timeline. It takes 3 to 5 days for your circadian rhythm to adjust, 3 to 5 days of going to bed at the same time before your body starts waking up naturally. During those first days, it's uncomfortable, but you're not wasting time, you're training biology, and biology only responds to consistency. Here's what no one mentions. The reason most people can't wake up early isn't because they're lazy, it's because they're living on 2 different schedules. On weekdays, they force themselves awake at 6. On weekends, they sleep until 10. And every time they do that, they reset the timer back to the late schedule. So Monday morning feels like torture. Your body doesn't understand weekends, it only knows patterns. If you wake up at 6 on Monday and 10 on Sunday, your body gets 2 conflicting signals and it defaults to the later one. So if you want to wake up early without forcing it, you have to wake up early every day, even Saturday. Not because you're punishing yourself, because you're letting your body lock into a rhythm. But here's the uncomfortable part. Most people don't actually want to wake up early. They want the idea of it. They want to feel like the kind of person who wakes up early, the identity, the productivity, but they don't want to give up the late nights, the scrolling, the freedom of staying awake as long as they want, and you can't have both. Waking up early isn't a hack, it's a trade. You trade your late nights for early mornings. You trade the glow of the screen for the dim quiet before the world wakes up. And if you're not willing to make that trade, no amount of discipline will save you because you're not fighting laziness, you're fighting a choice you're not ready to make. The question isn't whether you can wake up early. You can. Your body is capable. The question is whether you're willing to let go of the things keeping you in bed, and most people aren't. They want the result without the shift, the morning without the night, and that's why they keep failing, not because they're weak, because they're trying to negotiate with biology. And biology doesn't negotiate. You already know what to do. Go to bed earlier, remove the lights, cool the room, stay consistent. It sounds like it can't work because it's so simple, but the reason it sounds too simple is because it is simple. It's just not easy, because easy would mean you get to keep everything the same and still get a different result. The morning starts the night before, and the night before starts with a decision you make right now, whether you're willing to trade what you're doing for what you say you want. Because tomorrow morning, you'll wake up to the choices you made tonight.